Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, and dear colleagues and distinguished diplomats in Uzbekistan. I'm Kyung Jung, the Vice Head of the HK+ National Strategies Research Projects Agency, and I'm the moderator of this ceremony. So welcome to the Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North, working together in Uzbekistan 2023 for diplomatic dialogues. First of all, I'd like to invite Dr. Junyoung Kang, the Director of the Center for International Area Studies of Hankuk University Foreign Studies, for opening address. Please, Mr. Kang.
Thank you. Honorable guests and esteemed participants, good afternoon. And welcome to the diplomatic dialogue. Thank you for coming despite of bad weather. I'm Junyoung Kang, the head of the HK+ National Strategies Research Project Agency, Center for International Area Studies, Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. Commenced on April 8th, 2021, is now hosting a third forum with the theme Working Together in Uzbekistan 2023. This forum holds special significance as it marks the first occasion that the Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North is being held overseas, particularly in Uzbekistan, our focal research nation and the hub of the Silk Road. This forum is taking place against the backdrop of increasing geopolitical crisis, including the Ukraine war and the Israel-Hamas conflict, and the escalating competition between the US and China. However, as the saying goes, crisis is an opportunity. Despite these challenges, Korea and the northern region can explore a newer and broader cooperative relationship within the current crisis situation. We will strengthen cooperation from comprehensive standpoint of our cultures based on trust. With this perspective, the northern country of Korean Peninsula and essentially cooperative partners working for reading a new world in which people are respectful of others. We hope the Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North to be appreciated and as constructing stepstone toward peace, prosperity, and coexistence around the world. I express my gratitude to the Institute for Strategic and Regional Studies under the President of Uzbekistan and the Embassy of Uzbekistan in South Korea for their efforts in organizing this forum. With my greetings, I declare the opening of the diplomatic dialogue in the Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North in 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Kang. And as for the next channel, well, I'd like to invite First Deputy Director Akramion Nematov for the welcoming address, please.
Hello. Dear colleagues, Your Excellencies, Mr. Wang, Mr. Kang, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me sincerely welcome all participants of the forum and express my gratitude to the organizers for the invitation to speak at this important event. I would like to emphasize the very representative composition of the delegation of the Republic of Korea. I'm very pleased that the first off-site meeting in such a format is being held in Uzbekistan. This demonstrates the importance of Central Asia in South Korea's foreign policy strategy and an increased interest in closer cooperation with the states of the region. Central Asia is highly interested in cooperation with Korea. This was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's joint conference with Korean partners under the title Central Asia, Republic of Korea, Strategic Dialogue, Prospects of Mutually Beneficial Cooperation. Indeed, today our relations are of strategic nature. A trustful dialogue has been established at the highest level. Political contacts between our two countries have been considerably intensified. Recently, the first strategic dialogue between Uzbekistan and the Republic of Korea was held at the level of foreign ministers. Forum meetings on Central Asia-Korea cooperation are held on a regular basis. In other words, we have established and continue to steadily develop comprehensive political dialogue. And it's not for no reason. First, our countries have close and similar positions on pressing regional and international security issues. Both the Republic of Korea and the Central Asian states follow the principles of openness, multilateralism, and the development of their regions as a space for mutually beneficial cooperation. Meanwhile, diversifying foreign economic ties as well as building trust and cooperation globally are common goals that also bring the six countries closer together. In this regard, I would like to emphasize Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's bold initiative to bring peace to the Korean Peninsula. Second, the Republic of Korea has made invaluable contributions to the human capital development, the innovation and technological transformation of our region. For example, in partnership with Republic of Korea, Scientific Technological Center for Rare Metals and Alloys, Design and Technology Center of Agricultural Machinery, and the Uzbek-Korean Textile Technopark for Training and Practice have been established and are successfully functioning in Uzbekistan. The establishment of Uzbek-Korean cooperation centers in construction and chemical technologies is under active consideration. Only in Tashkent, currently 4 branches of Korean universities have been established and are successfully operating. In this way, today, Korea stands for us as a vital source of cutting-edge knowledge and technologies needed to modernize the economies of our countries. We support and commend Korea's recent new growth strategy 4.0 and national advanced technology strategy to achieve the second Han River miracle. We are ready to work closely in these areas to match our development programs. Thirdly, the cultural and humanitarian factor is of considerable importance in deepening our cooperation. The large Korean diaspora living in Central Asian countries is a powerful asset in this regard. Koreans living in Uzbekistan have become an integral part of our culture and our daily life. They are actively participating in all the spheres of life of the society and the state without any exception, acting as a strong bridge between our nations. In this regard, I believe it is necessary to support and comprehensively develop the cultural and humanitarian dialogue between our countries, to promote people-to-people exchanges and mutual language learning. Dear colleagues, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Korea was the first country to establish a dialogue with Central Asia in the C5+1 format in 2007. Since then, 16 forums have been held and solid mechanisms of interaction in various spheres have been developed. At the same time, today, thanks to a qualitatively new level of cooperation in Central Asia, completely new prospects for interaction in the CA+ format are opening up. Our countries demonstrate a strong determination to move forward in the direction of closer cooperation and express their readiness to create a new model of economic development in the region, based on the use of competitive advantages and complementarity of economies. The region has all the necessary conditions for cooperation in various spheres, where we prioritize the formation of a large interconnected market. Close cooperation is maintained in the field of transport and logistics. In particular, logistics centers are being built. The countries are jointly promoting the Middle Corridor, connecting with South Caucasus and Europe, and forming transport interconnectivity with South Asia. Industrial cooperation is actively developing. Trade, industrial, and free economic zones are being created in the border region, as well as joint investment funds are to support projects in this direction. Close interaction has been established in the field of energy security. Uzbekistan, together with Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, is constructing new and modernizing existing hydroelectric power plants. And finally, our countries share a common vision on the climate agenda. Deeply aware of the consequences of global warming, which are particularly strong in our region, we carry out targeted work on rational water use with the subsequent introduction of water-saving technologies and the cultivation of drought-resistant crops. At the summit of the heads of state of Central Asia in Cholpon-Ata in Kyrgyzstan in 2022, the regional program Green Agenda for Central Asia was adopted, which emphasizes the transition to green development. Thus, the dynamic transformation of Central Asia opens up entirely new and undiscovered opportunities for Korea, as well as for other external partners in the region. I am convinced that we will be able to cooperate productively with our Korean partners in all these areas. We have great hopes that Seoul will provide all possible assistance to fully utilize the existing unrealized potential of our region. In conclusion, let me express the conviction that the fruitful results of the two forums will become a pledge of further deepening of partnership between Central Asia and South Korea, will strengthen the existing foundation of relations and will give additional dynamics to mutually beneficial cooperation. I would like to take this opportunity to wish the forum members health and prosperity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for Mr. First Deputy Director, your hearty welcoming address, and I'm sure that we can improve the relationship between our country and this region. We have two video congratulatory messages from Korea. The first one is by Dr. Chang Won-sam, the president of the KOICA International Cooperation Agency. I'd like to invite Chang Won-sam's video clip, please.
안녕하십니까. 코이카 이사장 장원선입니다. 먼저 제3차 한반도-북방 문화전략포럼의 개최를 진심으로 축하드리며 근본 포럼에 참석하여 주신 내외인 여러분께도 인사드립니다. 저도 함께 참석하면 좋았겠지만 일정상 어려움으로 인해 부득불 영상을 통해 축사를 전하게 됨을 이해해 주시기 바랍니다. 주지하다시피 한국과 중앙아시아 국가들은 30여 년 전 외교관계를 수립한 이래 경제, 인적 교류, 문화, 개발 협력 등 다양한 분야에서 협력 관계를 강화하여 오고 있습니다. 특히 작년 초 시작되어 장기화되고 있는 러시아 우크라이나 전쟁과 이에 따른 지역 정세 불안정은 글로벌 차원의 파급력과 함께 한국과 중앙아시아 국가들 간의 전략적 협력의 중요성을 다시 한번 일깨워주고 있습니다. 이러한 점에서 경제, 안보, 문화 등 제 분야에서 우즈베키스탄을 포함한 여러 중앙아시아 국가들과의 협력 방안을 논의하는 근본 포럼의 개최는 매우 시의적절하다고 하겠습니다. 코이카는 다양한 개발협력 사업을 통해 중앙아시아 국가들의 경제, 사회 발전을 지원하고 한국과의 우호협력관계 증진을 위해 노력해 왔습니다. 현재 우즈베키스탄을 비롯한 중앙아시아 4개국의 사무소를 설치하고 각국 정부와 긴밀히 협의하고 조율하는 가운데 국별 개발 환경과 정책을 고려한 중점 협력 분야와 국가 지원 계획을 수립하여 맞춤형 지원 사업을 추진하고 있습니다. 국별 협력 프로젝트 기준으로 보면 2013년에 연간 약 900만 불 규모로 16개의 사업을 추진한 데 비해서 2023년 현재 연간 약 1,800만 불 규모로 29개의 사업을 수행하는 등 10년 사이에 중앙아시아에 대한 지원 규모는 2배 이상 확대가 되었습니다. 이는 코이카가 중앙아시아 국가들과의 협력을 갈수록 더 중시하고 있음을 보여주는 하나의 예입니다. 향후 코이카는 급변하는 지역 정세를 면밀히 주시하면서 파트너 국가들과의 지속적인 협의를 통해 각국의 경제, 사회 발전에 기여할 수 있는 양질의 사업을 지속 발굴하여 추진코자 합니다. 마지막으로 이번 포럼에서 다양한 이해관계자들 간의 발전적인 논의를 통해 향후 한국과 북방 국가들의 협력관계 강화를 위한 전략과 실행 방안에 대한 유익한 제언이 도출될 수 있기를 기대합니다. 감사합니다.
Dr. Chang Won-sam, we have another video congratulatory message from the President of Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. I'd like to invite President Park Jong-un's congratulatory message. Please.
제3차 한반도-북방 문화전략포럼에 참석해 주신 내외빈 여러분, 안녕하십니까? 오늘 행사에 참석하신 모든 분들을 환영합니다. 특히 오늘 행사 준비를 위해 애써주신 우즈베키스탄 전략연구소의 엘도로 타키로비치 소장님과 한국외대 HK+국가전략사업단의 강준영 단장님, 그리고 각 기관 관계자분들께 감사 인사를 전합니다. 상호 이익을 위한 협력 방안 모색이라는 표제로 개최되는 오늘 포럼은 현재의 국제 정세 속에서 매우 중요한 의미를 지닙니다. 인류는 전례 없는 팬데믹에서 완벽하게 회복하지 못한 상황에서 러시아 우크라이나 전쟁과 이스라엘 팔레스타인 사태를 맞으며 미 중 간의 첨예한 갈등 구도도 여전히 지속되고 있습니다. 이렇게 불안정한 국제 정세 속에서 우리는 국가와 문명 간 상호 이해와 소통이 무엇보다 중요하다는 점을 다시금 상기하게 됩니다. 이러한 위기 속에 오늘 포럼은 한반도와 북방 지역 간 접점을 논의하는 소중한 시간으로 한반도 북방 지역 간 미래 협력의 가능성을 확대시킬 수 있는 직접적인 소통의 장이 될 것입니다. 소통을 통한 상호 이해와 인정은 한반도와 북방 지역이 우리라는 공동체로 묶일 수 있는 가능성을 열어주고 궁극적으로는 지역 간 평화와 국제적 평화를 이끌어낼 수 있을 것이라 기대합니다. 오늘의 포럼이 앞으로도 계속 이어져 나가기를 바라며 오늘 행사가 참석하신 모든 분이 고견과 질의를 나누는 뜻깊은 자리가 되길 바랍니다. 끝으로 오늘 귀한 발걸음을 해주신 여러 내빈께 다시 한번 감사드리며 포럼의 개최를 위해 애쓰신 관계자 여러분 모두에게 감사드립니다. 여러분 모두의 건강과 행운 그리고 세계 평화를 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Mr. President Park Jong-un. We have invited two important keynote speakers. First of all, I'd like to invite Executive Director Lee Jong-guk, the Korea Central Asia Cooperation Forum Secretariat from the Korea Foundation. Please.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to thank you all for being here today during this busy holiday season. I'm very pleased to be able to visit Tashkent again and continue our communication at a time when we face the challenges of the global supply chain crisis caused by the pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Over the past 30 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Korea and Central Asia in 1992, the two regions have rapidly strengthened ties in a wide range of fields, including diplomacy, economy, industry, and culture, and laid the foundation for collaboration of mutual benefit. Last year marked the 30th anniversary of such relations, and this year is the first annum of the preparation for the next 30 years. Thus, I think it's very meaningful and important to gather like this to arrange a forum for discussion on common issues. At the macro level, changes are taking place in Eurasia as a whole, and we need to look at the environment and condition for cooperation at large, rather than take an issue by issue or project by project approach. In exploring ways to work with Russia, China, and the West, I think it is important to see how Korea and the countries of the European region, including the 5 Central Asian countries, can increase their attractiveness and competitiveness and create a momentum for further collaboration. In recent years, geopolitical crises have weakened the momentum for contacts between countries. Under such circumstances, we must respect each other more and strive for shared prosperity. Regional prosperity is realized when individuals, businesses, and countries can operate freely and steadily. These endeavors will contribute to building an open and fair economic order by enhancing connectivity and complementarity of trade and investment networks. It will enable us to spur growth and foster cooperative and inclusive ecosystem of economy and technology. To this end, we look forward to building relationships based on strong mutual trust. We will then jointly address regional and global challenges in a sustainable way as valuable partners. Here we have to consider several aspects. In the government track, it is essential to build mutual trust through promoting intergovernmental dialogue and holding annual summits to set common goals and formulate the policies for a greater collaboration. First, to strengthen trade and economic relations, we should assess how trade between the two regions have expanded mutual investment and achieved economic co-prosperity over the past 30 years. Facing the global supply chain crisis, especially after the pandemic and the Ukraine war, I think it is time to think about possible cooperation in the field of energy and key minerals from a long-term perspective. I believe that the sustainable development is to be promoted through resource sharing and energy cooperation between the regions. As to the climate crisis, we should jointly tackle environmental issues to preserve and improve the natural surroundings of the Central Asian region. I also believe that economic ties in some areas of mutual benefit can bring about fruitful results in a shorter period of time comparatively. For example, we should improve and complement trade agreements, customs policies, and tariff issues so that mutual investments are facilitated. In addition to that, coordination between Korea and international organizations is also urgently needed. In particular, infrastructure and economic development projects in Central Asia should be conducted through close consultation with Korea and international organizations. Such endeavors can motivate greater international support and bring about overall stability and prosperity of the Eurasian region. The crisis in Ukraine has made Korea, with its geopolitical location in Far East Asia, realize the importance of not only bilateral but also multilateral cooperation. It is why I'm sure that there are many areas for closer relations between Korea and Central Asia while putting our own interests as priority. For successful cooperation, dialogues and negotiations are essential. And there too, we should take our common interest into account. In particular, we should expand ties not only with 5 Central Asian countries, but also with the neighboring Caspian countries. It will enable us to contribute to the stability and prosperity of the entire Eurasian region by nurturing collaboration in various fields with more neighboring countries. Second is the cultural exchange. While economic cooperation needs time to yield fruits, cultural exchange can reap fruits in a relatively short time. We need to look at how cultural, academic, and people-to-people exchanges have developed over the past 30 years, and then we have to look to the future. Cultural exchange is an important element in supporting inter-regional development as they increase mutual understanding. They also facilitate transfer of knowledge and technology by expanding ties in education and R&D area. Now is the time for Korea and Central Asian countries to build on the experience of the past 3 decades and leap forward to a future-oriented relationship. In order to achieve peace and prosperity in the region, Korea, Central Asia, and neighboring countries need to work together for closer ties in various practical fields and people-to-people and cultural exchange. It can also include projects for shared prosperity of the Eurasian region. Through this forum, we really hope to have in-depth discussion on how to build a new 30-year partnership between Korea and Central Asia. I really hope that this forum will be a meaningful venue for the future and mutual development of the two regions. Cooperation between Korea and Central Asia is the basis for northward cooperation. This forum will continue to play its role as a platform for bilateral cooperation to help lay the foundation for the future of northward cooperation. I'm very pleased to participate in this Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North today, which brings together the distinguished diplomats and experts in various fields from our countries. There is a Central Asian verb that I really liked. The strength of birds lies in their wings, and the strength of people lies in their friendship. I hope that today's forum will reinforce the belief the strength of our ties lies in our friendship. I look forward to your continued support for this forum, as it will endeavor to step on internal and external dimension for 30 more years of partnership between Korea and Central Asia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Executive Director, and I'm sure that we share the desire for the peace and prosperity for the humankind. And also, I'm sorry about the noises around us, but here we can find the similarities between Korean culture and Central Asia. We love to sing and dance, and they love to sing and dance also. So now I'd like to invite Mr. Ambassador Kim Hee-sang, the Ambassador of the Republic of Korea to the Republic of Uzbekistan, as a keynote speaker, please.
Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to take part in this roundtable discussion under the theme of working together in Uzbekistan with His Excellency Mr. Wang Yunjong, Secretary to the President of the Republic of Korea for Economic Security, and my fellow ambassadors, distinguished scholars, and government officials. Today, I was originally supposed to give a keynote speech, yet as Korean ambassador to Uzbekistan, I would rather reflect on the last 30 years of Korea-Central Asia cooperation and briefly contemplate the prospect for the next 3 decades of collaboration in this region, with a specific focus on Korea-Uzbek relations. When I think of the relations between Korea and Central Asia, 3 numbers come to my mind: 1,400, 85, and 30. 1,400, 85, and 30. The historical links between Korea and Central Asia started even prior to 1,400 years ago. This connection is vividly depicted in the famous wall painting in the Afrosia Museum in Samarkand, where King Baruhuman, the king of the Sogudian kingdom, extended a warm welcome to envoys from Korea. The number 85 relate to the history of Korean diaspora in this region. Last year, 2022, over 300,000 ethnic Koreans in Central Asia commemorated the 85th anniversary of the migration to the region. Despite many challenges, the Korean diaspora communities in this region have played a strong bridging role between Korea and Central Asia. The final number 30, of course, symbolizes the recent diplomatic history between Korea and the Central Asian countries. In 1992, the Korean government established diplomatic relations with 5 newly independent Central Asian nations. Over the past 3 decades since then, we have nurtured mutually beneficial ties very rapidly in the political, economic, and social spheres. Annual trade has surged over 600-fold, increasing from $15 million at the establishment of diplomatic ties to $9.2 billion today. People-to-people exchanges have grown from around 100 to approximately 45,000 annually. In order to support this relationship in a more effective and systematic way, in 2007, on the occasion of the 15th anniversary of diplomatic relations, the Korea-Central Asia Cooperation Forum was established. As explained by the previous speaker, Mr. Lee Jong-guk, every year, the Korea-Central Asia Cooperation Forum brings together government ministers and private sector experts to foster expanded collaboration between the 2 regions. The Korean government will we will actively strive to enhance our relations with Central Asia through this forum. Distinguished guests, today we encounter many global challenges that require collaborative efforts. No single country can tackle them alone. Recognizing this, Korea has embraced the foreign policy strategy of emerging as a global pivotal state, contributing to freedom, peace, and prosperity. With this as a guiding light, the Korean government under President Yoon Suk-yeol seeks to further cooperate with Central Asia, located at the heart of the Eurasian continent, to address and overcome the global crisis. Last year, we celebrated a milestone, 3 decades of diplomatic relations. At this meaningful juncture, the partnership between Korea and Central Asia stands ready to take tremendous strides forward. Considering the evolving global status and economic growth of both regions, we aim to enhance our partnership beyond conventional sectors to encompass a wider range of spheres, not least green growth, digitalization, and economic security. Korea will stand as a trusted partner for the development in this region. I hope today's roundtable serves as a valuable platform for discussing future cooperation, not only between Korea and Central Asia, but indeed a collaboration among countries in Eurasia as well, as a whole, including our dear friend Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. Thank you again, Professor Kang Junyoung and your team for the effort to arrange and prepare for this seminar. I also appreciate the cooperation by the Institute for Strategic and Regional Studies under the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Katalama.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. So this is the end of the opening ceremony. I'd like to invite all the guests to the front to take a commemorative photo all together, please.